Good morning, everybody. It's another beautiful, cloudy, slightly rainy summer day today. So it's the end of July. I figured I would give you an update. The beans are going absolutely bananas in the wicking beds as usual. I've already pulled 7 or 8 gallons off of them in this past month, and I'm freeze drying them. I'll go over that process in another video. Yellow beans look like they just got picked. My mother must have done that. The tomatoes are coming along excellent. Again, we've gotten probably 7 or 8 gallons of beans already, and we're freeze drying that. The strawberries are doing magnificent. Look at that guy. I'm gonna eat that guy right now. Perfect. That tomato is doing well. These are some multicolored carrots, and they seem to be finally doing relatively decent as well. I'm not going to dig them up just yet. Ooh, look, more strawberries. I'll be back for you later. The corn is a little stunted, but I've never tried it in the wicking beds before, so this is the experimentation that we have to do. How are we doing on water? I haven't checked you in a while. Okay, good. We're doing good on water. It just rained, not a lot, but enough to get everything wet. Beets are doing good. They typically do very well, and then I harvest beet greens irregularly throughout for salads. The carrots are finally starting to come along a little bit. I'm not going to pull them out, but it's been a weird year for carrots, and I'm not sure why. Just harvested a gallon or so worth of broccoli. Those are coming along. It looks like these are all broccoli, I think. Nope, there was some romaine lettuce in here. It looks like they are getting a little bit tall. I'll have to pluck those later. You can see this wicking bed has settled quite a bit. I'm going to have to redo parts of this one so that everything doesn't settle down in there, but that'll be a job for this fall after the harvest. The sunchokes are quite nice and tall. I dug one up the other day, but it hasn't really multiplied yet. I'm not sure what's going on. It might be too warm for them. They might need to just go right into the ground. The reason I did them in here is because they tend to, once they take root, unless you get absolutely every tuber out of it, they will just continue to get worse and worse and worse. This is the one that I dug up, and I don't think it has taken well to being dug up and planted back in there. So, onward to the main garden now. We have our little raspberries, which were in full bloom. I don't know what's going on here now. It looks like quite a few of them are dying out, maybe because of too much heat the other day. Again, I still gotta get through and fix this fence, and then I'll really string them along and work them right into the fence, which will be extremely nice. Apples are starting to come and starting to drop. That's one reason why I keep this area open. I can now collect all the apples, throw them in buckets, and feed them right out to the cows and to the horses. But currant berries are still coming along nicely. I've gotten a couple of bushels of those. They're starting to go into their summer die-off. Again, nothing in the cold frames this year. These blueberries are not doing too well. I think they are getting too much sun right now. So I might try shade clothing them later, but that's a project for later. Potatoes, wow. Yeah, early in the morning, time for another cup of coffee. The tomatoes are going absolutely bananas. And I did plant some marigolds in here to help them along, but I think they've just completely overtaken even everything. And then up here is just like insane. The tomatoes are just like, they really love these raised beds. I'm gonna have to go through and prune them, maybe a few less in each one. Last year they were insane. Cabbages, they're coming along nicely. They're probably about baseball sized, a little bit more. They'll be coming along nicely. Those are getting a little too much sun from, or a little too much shade from the tomatoes there. I'll worry about you later. Again, already got some broccoli. They're growing great here as well. These are, what are these? Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are coming along nicely. The comfrey got wiped out a little bit by a stray cow. That was before I put the main fence up. The squash is coming along nicely. The potatoes are ready for their next box. All of them look like they're ready for their next box, maybe 2 boxes. So I'll get to that later today. I'm not sure if that was squash or trombocino squash, or if this was squash and pumpkin. We'll figure that out later. The onions are coming along greatly. I haven't dug one up yet, but they are quite nice. And then, what was this? This looks like all weeds. I think this was my turnip, and I never got to weeding it. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to get in here. Was this my turnip? I don't know. I don't see any turnip in here either. So I don't remember what I put in here. I'll have to check my list, but the weeds definitely took after this one. So the plan for this winter after harvest for these is I'm gonna top them off with some fresh compost and put a tarp, strap the tarp around, and then set a few rocks or a few pieces of firewood on top of that, and then just leave it. And that's it. That's the care for the garden, for prepping it for next year. And again, the wicking beds will be just flooded and then drained, and then I'll do that twice. So let me know what you guys are doing in the comments, and if you guys have any other cool ideas. Until then, have a good one.